For this video, we're going to be finding the volume and surface area of cylinders. So let's start by addressing what is a cylinder. Well, cylinder is just a prism that has a circular base. Okay, remember a prism is just a solid that has rectangular sides. Well, if we think about this, I can take this prism, or I'm sorry, I can take this cylinder, and I know the top is a circle. I know the bottom is also a circle. Those are my two bases. And between them, if I kind of unwrap this like the label of a soup can, I would be left with a rectangle. Now this thing that I'm drawing, this picture here, this is what's called a net. And a net is simply when I take a 3D shape and like peel it apart into 2D shapes. So you can see that this cylinder can be turned into two circles and a rectangle. So it is a prism, okay? So basically, it's a prism with circular bases. Okay, so let's look at some formulas. The volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times h, where r is the radius of the base and h is the height of the shape. Now you remember for a prism, the volume was the area of the base times the height. Well, pi r squared, that's just the area of a circle, right? So what shape is the circle? Or what shape is the base? It's a circle. So this formula and this formula mean the same thing. It's the area of your base times your height. Your base just happens to be a circle. Okay? Then our surface area is 2 pi r squared. Okay? Because I have two circular bases, so I'm doing 2 times the area of one circle. That'll give me that part. And then this right here, this is the area of that rectangle, which is 2 pi r h. And 2 pi r, you should know, that's the circumference of the circle. All right, so these are the formulas we use for surface area and volume. So let's take a look at an example. So we need to find the volume and surface area of this cylinder. Well, I've got my circular base, and 4 is the radius of that base. And then I have my height, and my height has a radius, or my height is the distance between the two bases, and that is 12 centimeters. So let's go ahead and find the volume and surface area. I know volume is pi r squared times the height. So if I substitute in my values, r is 4, h is 12, 4 squared is 16. So I'm going to do pi times 16 times 12. That's 192 times pi, or roughly 603.19 centimeters cubed. Now I would accept either this or this as answers. This is actually the more exact, better answer. This is actually what I'd prefer to see, 192 pi centimeters squared. All right, now let's do surface area. Surface area is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So I'll plug my same numbers in for r and h. So I get 2 pi times 4 squared plus 2 pi times 4 squared times 12. That's not right at all. I messed that one up. Let's fix that. There shouldn't be any squared here, which makes that not 12, that makes that 4 still, which makes this not that. That makes that 8 times 12, which is 96 pi. I got this one all messed up. So that makes this 128. And I'm not even going to put this into decimals. Okay, so let's fix this. I totally messed that problem up, but let's go through it. Surface area is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Okay, made that mistake there. There shouldn't be a squared. So 4 squared is 16. So now I'm going to do 2 times 16, that's 32 pi. 2 times 4 times 12 is 96 pi. So 32 pi plus 96 pi. We treat our pi as just a like term, so it's, or a variable. It stays on the outside. And 32 plus 96 is 128. I'm not even going to bother turning this into a decimal. We're just going to say that the answer is 192 pi centimeters squared. So you can see from this problem that all I'm doing is plugging in my radius and my height into my formulas and solving for my volume and surface area. All right, so let's take a look at another problem. So it says a cylindrical water tower is 50 feet tall and has a radius of 20 feet. If the tower is half full, how much water does it contain? So if we're trying to figure out how much water it contains, All right, that's how much water is inside the shape. Okay, we're saying how much water is inside the shape, but we know that this is only half full. Okay, so my water tower only has water in the first half. Okay, so if we're talking about how much is inside of the shape, that's volume. And what we need to do is we need to find the volume of this cylinder and then figure out what half of that is, because this is only half full. So let's do that. Volume is pi r squared h, and I know that the radius is 20 feet and the height is 50 feet. So let's work that out. That's pi times 20 squared times 50. 20 squared is 400. So 400 times 50 is 20,000 pi. Well, that's how the volume of the shape is. So now I need to divide that by 2 to figure out what half of it is. And so I get an answer of 10,000 pi feet cubed. All right, so all I did is I found the volume of my cylinder, and then I multiplied it by half. All right, so now that you've seen how to do this, your triad problem is to find the volume and surface area of the cylinder shown here.